All right, welcome back. We're going to go ahead and proceed along into the next section, which is dedicated to the Alapin. This starts out with e4, c5, and now c3. So, uh, the Alapin is not an amazing opening. I think black is definitely fine in more ways than one. But strategically speaking, it's very ambitious. Like, if you're playing against some anti Sicilian we saw last time, and we go like a3, you're really not worried about what's going to come next. When white plays c3, if you're not careful, if you just proceed along like with your normal repertoire with d6, like we do on move 2 normally, white goes d4 and takes the whole center, and you're sort of left feeling like a dummy. You have to. He has a very clear point that if he's able to play d4 without any resistance, like he's just going to be better. And it's our job to not let that happen. Now, I think that's well within black's capabilities, but you have to be careful. So the first things first, I like knight f6, attacking this pawn on e4 and sort of encouraging it forward to e5 because we're taking advantage of this knight on b1 being unable to come to c3. So after e5, knight d5, white's main plan is to play some combination of knight f3, bishop c4, and d4 in the next few moves. He has some extraneous options as well, but this is what he normally goes for. So here, d4 I think is the main move by far, and you're certainly most likely to see that because once white plays c3, I mean, playing d4 is pretty consistent. But there are some other options. And one thing to keep in mind is that black would like to maintain this knight on d5. So in my main line, I end up even playing bishop e6 to defend it. And if white wants us to move our knight when he plays bishop c4, he's going to have to play bishop c4 sooner rather than later. So for example, if you look at the main line after d4, I go cd4, cd4, d6, and then after something like knight f3, knight c6, if you play bishop c4 here, I'm not going to move this knight. I'm happy with de5, de5, bishop e6. And we'll get back to this position later. But for now, what I'm going to point out is how if white wants us to move this knight and avoid my main line, there's some incentive to playing a move like bishop c4 directly, pointing out that this knight is now hanging. I can't go d6, d takes e5 to defend it, and I can't go bishop e6 yet. This does force us to move the knight, but it also gives black an extra option, which is that following knight b6, after bishop b3, we can play c4.